before I bring Barrett on here, I want to one more time put this out there to you. Every single team, when they negotiate, Barrett Brooks, I've been listening to him now for 2 years now. Barrett had 2 careers. His first 5, where they looked at him as a starter. He had 1 bad game in his 12 years that defined him the rest of his career. Do you know how hard it is in that league and in the front offices around the NFL when that starts circling around? Hey, he's a really good player. You could slide him into guard, left tackle. He's a really good dude. He's a really good player. But being called a Swiss Army knife, that's not what he aspired to be. He knew he was better probably than some of the guys that started ahead of him and were getting more money in other places. That's a lot of luck. What I'm saying to you is, if you're going to pay a guy between 47 and 50 million, you look at that guy in Baltimore and go, well, he's 26 years old. He's 45 and 16. He's missed 9 games since he's been a starter in Baltimore. If you're Howie and Jeffrey Lurie, you got to build leverage against Clutch Sports, because you listen, and I'm not, hey, and again, all I'm saying is that organization's not just going to go, here's a blank check for you. They're going to say all kinds of shit. Let's bring my friend from Sports Take, Barrett Brooks, in here. And Barrett, this is a cutthroat business, man. I mean, and again, but watch this. Do I have a problem with the way Lamar and Baltimore handled that deal? I surely do. Okay, they put the deal ahead of winning, and that thing should have been rectified. But again, I don't think people understand that all these front offices, Barrett, they look at every single scenario that's out there, and they funnel it down to what's best. So I'll ask you, do you think that this deal with Jalen gets done before free agency starts on March 15th?
They're going to try like hell to get it done. They're going to try to get it done because we know how he likes to get guys in before they can get fair market value. Now, what's happening now is there are a lot of good free agent quarterbacks that are out on the market right now, and they want to sign them before that money starts going. They want to sign them before Lamar gets his deal. They want to sign them so they can set the market instead of have somebody else set the market for them. There's going to be a lot of contracts right now, and we're going to see probably 2 contracts of over $500 million, man.
That Joe Burrow deal, Justin Herbert, Lamar.
Yeah, I mean it's some money out there, so they're trying to sign these guys before everybody else. So the market's not set for them. And Howie's been pretty good at that. The way he signed Lane. Lane is the best tackle in football right now, and he's probably the 8th highest paid guy in the league.
He's $18 million right now.
That's nothing. That's nothing compared to what he could be in a market for right now.
$25 million. He'd make, if he went out in the open market lane right now, he would make $25 million what Trent Williams is making.
Easy. The guy hasn't given up a sack or a hit this entire season or last season. We're talking about the premier tackle in the league. Played with just one nut for the last 4 games of the season. I mean, come on, man. We're talking about the best offensive lineman right now that played in the playoffs, and he's only making 18. So that's how we do it. It's just like Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert is one of the least paid tight ends in the league right now compared to what contracts are now. Even with, what Patrick Mahomes is making, we thought $500 million, $502 million. That's what he's getting paid on a 10-year deal. Well, now he's making only 45 a year. A-Rod is making $5-6 million more than him right now. And Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the NFL. So that's what I think Howie's trying to do. Howie's going to make sure he signs this guy early and quick, But, I mean, I do think they're dragging their feet too much right now. They should have had that deal done before the season was over with. And why don't they have their coordinators in there? They can't spend any money with their coordinator, with their players, because they don't know who's going to be the coordinator yet.
Can you imagine this, Barrett? Think of this for a second. Jalen Hurts and Clutch Sports and Nicole made money just keeping their faces shut because That stuff that's coming out of New York right now with $40 to $45 million for Mitchell Trubisky. Oh, excuse me, Daniel Jones. I mean, Jalen made $10 million, Barrett. Just with those idiots and what they're trying to do.
Absolutely.
7 years, 210. Come on. The guy had a game against Minnesota, but he's a stiff.
Bruh, they didn't let him go outside and play outside the gate until the last 3 games of the season. He couldn't even play outside the gate. He had to stay inside the gate. You know what I mean? He wasn't allowed to go out there and throw the ball. It was Saquon left, Saquon right, Saquon and Wildcat. They gave him a little power. He got outside the gate. He showed he could throw a little bit. Because the quarterback pool is tight, he's going to get that money, man. So they just made, you're right, they just made $10 million just because of Daniel Jones is right now. It's going to get over $200 million for 7 years.
That's insane. I mean, Barrett, man, we both should slap our moms around a little bit for having us a little bit
way too early. Bro, and you know, look at Sayamalu. Sayamalu, the bar's already set for him. Sayamalu,
I think 14 a year. Do you?
Oh, no. I think it's going to be more than that because look at who his coach is. Big V was not even a start. He started not even half the season. He started a quarter of the season. He got 5 years, $50 million. And this was 3 years ago, 3 years ago. Can you imagine what Sam Oliver's going to make now? Just because he went to Stoutland University? Stoutland is so respected around the league that he's getting guys he's going to get guys paid. I mean, he's going to get at least right around that 16, 15 mark. Watch what I tell you.
Hey, Barrett, if I'm at the Combines next week, dude, I'm walking in front of the Eagles and going, hey, if I'm an old lineman, hey, I'm over here. Hey, I'm over here. Don't forget, I don't care if you take me in the 6th round. You took Jason Kelsey, and I'm over here.
Right.
It doesn't matter where you're drafted in Philly. If you're an old lineman, you're going to play.
Stoutland has guys just leaving, and they can't even you got to clear waivers. It takes 4 hours to clear waivers. Those guys are getting signed at not even 4 hours, 3 hours and 59 minutes. That's when they're getting signed because it's ridiculous how well respected he is. So, I mean, he's going to get paid. A lot of these guys are, man. So, I mean, they're behind the buck. Everybody's saying, well, they're going to sign CJGJ. They can't afford CJGJ.
No way.
He's going to get a contract, 5 years, $75 to $80 million.
Watch this, Barrett. CJ is going to get, but here, if you're Howie, do you pay $14.4 for a safety?
For a 1-year deal. CJGJ, I think I would. Why?
$14.4 for a safety.
Well, see, that's the dynamic. That's the dynamic that he has. He plays corner and safety. He can play man to man, and they're classifying him as safety, and that's what they're going to bring him in on. That's what Howie's going to say.
Okay, so you're going to
play
what Howie's going to say with him.
Yeah,
you're going to play dirty ball with him and go 14-4, put him at corner.
Yeah,
and he could have got 8. Oh, that's a dirty game.
That's exactly what they're going to do. Oh, you know, you're a safety, so you got to be slow. We saw what happened over in San Fran when it came to Debo. Kind of the same thing. We're going to pay you at the safety level. You know, the cornerback level is 18-1, 18-2. We're not going to pay you that. We're going to pay you 14 around where the safety is. So I at the very least, I think they're going to go ahead and sign him to a tender. They're gonna sign him to a tender. They're gonna get a franchise tag, and he's gonna probably make 14.4, and he's gonna be pissed off about it. But that's more right now. If he goes into free agency and they don't let him go into free agency, he'll make every bit of that. You know, so whatever 75, 80 million over 6 is, he'll make that money easy.
How about this, Barrett? Getting to the coordinators here, one of the reasons that I think they're looking at the college coordinators, that guy Schumann in Georgia, is because I don't think he knows any more or any less than Leonard or Fangio. But what he does know, Barrett, is stuff that you and I love. Think about all the kids that he's recruited around the country that are going to be in the draft, that are free agents, that are coming up. I mean, I think one of the greatest advantages that Jimmy Johnson and Pete Carroll had is because those guys recruited all them dudes around the country. Why wasn't this guy a first rounder? Well, he was 6'1" instead of 6'4", but he's a hell of a ball player. and you know these guys are good, and you get guys like Larry Allen in the 12th round,
Exactly.
or you get Tony Tolbert, or you get some of these guys in rounds that you don't have to spend premium money on. So again, I mean, he was recruiting Michael Strahan out of Southern, and he was a second rounder. And he goes, like, they were going to take him in Dallas. So he knew who he was when he was recruiting him to try to go to Miami. So do you see that similarity there? That's probably why they're looking at it.
And by the way, he just happened to have Nakobe Dean on the squad,
right?
Davis on the squad. He had Quay Walker up in Green Bay, and you see how he's playing right now. He's got Walker down in Jacksonville. So he can make these guys good. So,
and this kid Carter coming out is going to be either him or Will Anderson. That's so again. I mean, I don't know. So again, I mean, the top priority for you though, going in. Let's do some draft here. The top priority for you, is it corner at 10, or is it edge?
I'm gonna go corner right now. And I'm going corner because right now we have two guys in Hassan Reddick and Sweat, and Derek Barnett, who is a good player when he keeps his head screwed on straight. You know what I'm saying? He always his play after the whistle is what gets him benched a lot of time because he's getting those penalties. But I believe they can handle it on the edges. Once Bradbury leaves, because they don't have a snowball chance in hell in signing Bradbury. Once Bradbury
leaves,
$16
million.
Oh, he's out the gate. He's out the gate. There's no way they get him. He's gonna sign somewhere for big money. At least that. So they're gonna need a cornerback there, and they don't have enough to go out there and buy one of the guys that are on the free agent market. They don't have enough.
The kid from Baltimore, they're not going to be able to
to
spend the money for that guy.
And I don't know if he fits the culture of that locker room also.
Agreed.
He doesn't fit that culture in that locker room. But hey, playing, sometimes you can, put blinders on when you can play the way he plays. You know what I'm saying? But they need to go out and get somebody that they can raise up through the ranks. They don't have to pay right now. And the guys you mean, like Gonzalez from
Oregon.
From Oregon.
Hey, by the way, I asked Mario about him last night.
Uh-huh.
He's a transfer from Colorado initially early. Okay. I didn't know that either.
Me neither.
He transferred from Colorado, and they transferred him into Oregon. So I don't know if that plays a factor or anything. So that means Darrell had him up there. So he was a defensive coordinator at UCLA. He's been in the NFL a little bit. So, I mean, then he goes to Oregon. So he's got a pedigree of being coached by some pretty good people.
Oh, and then look at what's the name? Witherspoon from Illinois.
He's a lovely guy.
You can't lose with that. Or then Joey Porter. I know Joey had his son out there practicing with us. You know what I'm saying? So, he's gotten training from NFL caliber players. Joey Porter was a coach in the NFL for a long time. So, he's around those guys. He's out there doing drill with, NFL talent. So there's ties with all three guys of NFL caliber coaching. So any one of those three, if they can get him around 10, but see, we're talking about Howie though. Howie has never stayed at 10 when he's supposed to stay at 10. He could trade back. Maybe he trades up, but I think he's going to trade back because he doesn't have a pick from like the 4th, 5th, and the 6th round. He's going to be sitting there, twiddling his thumbs. All right, what are we going to do? We got to do something. So, that's tough on him, So that's definitely a factor also.
Barrett, I tried telling people yesterday, 10's a really funny position to pick in the draft because guys all fall in that position or people get overdrafted or underdrafted.
Yep.
And going into the combines, get this. So Joey Porter is ranked right now the 21st pick in the NFL draft. Now, again, after interviews, after combines, guys shoot up or down. So we'll know more after. But going in, he's 21. So at 10, pre-combine, you would be overdrafting a need. And this is why guys fail. Like, look at you. Folks, look at a guy like Barrett. Barrett was, I believe, were you a second rounder?
I was a second round pick.
Okay, so Barrett was underdrafted. Okay, so Barrett should have been, in my opinion, you probably go from 15 to 25. He's probably in
That's where they slotted me to put. That's where they put me at.
So he's probably between 15 and 25 if you were to redo it all over again. But he went in the second round because guys fall.
You know why? Because your boy, Sapp and about 15 of his boys were in their room smoking. put a towel down by the door, and all 15 guys got popped because they got drug tests. They thought they didn't have the drug test again.
And you were one of them?
No, I wasn't one of them.
Okay.
But all those guys dropped to where I was supposed to be at.
He was supposed to go to Minnesota, and Dennis Green said it to his death. The biggest mistake he ever made. Get this. This is why he took Randy Moss. He went like this. He goes, I'll never make that mistake again. He let Sapp fall. Okay. Can you imagine they had him next to John Randall, and them two guys
Come on, man.
would have been on the same team. That's why they went and got Moss.
Yep. So they messed the whole entire draft up, man. It was Kirkpatrick. I mean, all those guys, were in my draft, and everybody fell and we fall out. And then they had Trezell Jenkins. Trezell Jenkins played for Michigan. Never played a snap. He was there for 3 years, and they gave him a deal. He got third round money in the first round, and that's why they signed him, because they signed to a contract like that. So I was supposed to go to Kansas City. They called me. They were about to sign me. Trezell Jenkins said, "Look, we'll pay you this," and I ended up making like $1 million more than he did on after I got drafted on draft day, because he took less money to be drafted in the first round.
Let me go here. I heard you say this at 30, running back, and Robinson from Texas, Bijan Robinson, is the only guy that's going to go on the first day. Now, he's going to go to the combines. Here's his history, because I talked to Sark the other day about him. He was a 5-star kid, could have went anywhere in the country. But Barrett, that program, get this, they have 53 4 or 5-star kids on that Texas Longhorn program, and they ain't done shit with it.
Right.
And I mean, dude, you get beat by Kansas now. It's incredible how they've underachieved. But I threw Le'Veon Bell at you. You could put him in the slot.
Perfect. Yes, that's the perfect guy that you could kind of look at his skill set. And makes bad. I talked to the coach. The coach here in Temple was his coach in college. The guy that's here in Temple, and he said this kid can do everything. He's always been that shining light. He said, "Man, I don't know how the talent that they had. My boy was the wide receiver coach. They had the best receivers in the league. I don't know why they just underachieved the way they underachieved. They got everything carte blanche to them. Those kids want for nothing. How are they losing?
It's just shitty coaching too. No defense on that side of the ball. Let me throw this at you here. Some replacements. Just a couple more questions for you, Barrett. How about Tyrod Taylor as a backup? He's a free agent, and you could put him. And by the way, he's comfortable in that role. He went to the Pro Bowl 1 year in Buffalo. He's not exceptionally old. And in case there was an issue like we just saw, instead of having an idiot in there like Gardner Minshew, we put Tyrod Taylor in there, who kind of matches Jalen's skill set. And you have a guy that's not going to be that far of a fall off the cliff if you've got a guy like Tyrod Taylor, and he's comfortable in the role.
And can help Jalen coach Jalen. He's going to be one of those guys. He's going to be a coach when he's done playing. Him or Jacoby Brissett, one of those two guys would be perfect. And both of them will probably command about, $5 million, which is nothing compared for what you're paying back.
Well, Mitch is making $2.5 million now, $3 million. I mean, that's not that far up the ladder there. How about Teddy Bridgewater too?
Teddy, I don't know. Teddy's a little frail now, man. He's getting hurt. You look at him now, and he gets hurt, bro.
That Minnesota injury starting to catch up on him.
Yeah, it is.
Miami
should have been a lot better than what they were last year. Miami should have been better, way better.
Absolutely. Quez Watkins, what do you do at the 3-hole there for the Eagles? I mean, obviously, you and I agree. I mean, he's got to catch that ball in his hands and hit both his hands. I mean, between that and the Alshon Jeffries drop, Barrett, I mean, those are 2 Eagle drops that will always haunt that organization the year after the Super Bowl with Foles, and that drop, he's got to catch that.
Dan,
I'm sick of it.
If you're a backup, you get paid to do one thing. You get paid to if me, I was a jack of all trades. You know what I'm saying? I'm Swiss Army knife. I play guard, center, and tackle. If they called me in there, play goal line tight end. But when they called me in there, I was going to do my job. His sole job is to catch the 9 route, to catch a go route. That's all they asked him to do. Catch the long pass, and he couldn't do that. Come on, man. They didn't ask him to do anything else. When they did ask him to do something else, they saw how bad he was, so they stopped asking him to do it. But then they tell you in the biggest – look, man, you got to catch the ball, man. You got to do it. That's my sole job.
Bear, my problem with him was he never volunteered to be punt returner or kick returner.
Right.
Or,
Right.
I mean, when you're the 3 guy, man, you're looking to be a long snapper. You're looking to go on punt wedge. You're looking to stay on the roster, man. I mean, between him and Andre Dillard, I hated both their attitudes.
Bro, I was in Green Bay. I asked Coach, look, Coach, put me on kickoff return. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it takes to get a check, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I want one of those chairs. Hey, I had Seth Joyner on the other day, and let me tell you, this thing blew up, man. I mean, even your boys at WIP were all over this thing here. And I heard what you said. I see, Barrett. If you're telling me, wait a minute, so Alabama and Nick Saban and Jalen Hurts, they coach those kids hard. So they coach them softer in Philly than they do in Alabama? And I'm paying you?
It's not even.
I pay you to talk shit to you.
Right. But I'm saying, but it's not even just in Philadelphia. It's everywhere in the league. You say something wrong to a guy in the league right now, they'll fall apart, bro. They'll fall apart. Dude, right now, you look at these kids now, man. Like Seth goes in there. He's going to expect greatness. Seth is going to expect you to play like he played. And that's exhaust every single thing, every single ounce of you for the good of the team, to stop or play, whatever it takes.
Yeah, but Barrett, okay.
Well, these kids will ask why. And that would drive Seth nuts. What do you mean why? They want to know why. Because I told you so. That doesn't work for these kids these days. They want to know why things are happening. They want to know why. You yell at a kid, man, they might go into his shell, bro. They might go, they'll be done for the rest of the week, man. You'd have to go call 3 psychiatrists for them.
Barrett, let me give you a story, and I'm sure you got one of these as well. I mean, I'm sitting in my rookie year, and I'm listening to this guy, Leroy Selman, talking about playing a 3 technique, and I'm like, I didn't say a word. I've never been in a meeting where I didn't say anything. Then I get in another meeting, and I got Randy White and Ed Jones in between, and they're talking about playing defensive line, and I'm like, and I didn't say a word, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, I tried to do this here, and I put myself I cheat on the 3 technique, depending on splits and such. And you're just listening to these guys talking like I was with Seth the other day. How don't you want that knowledge? Because you and me know this. Hey, you could kill anybody in college if you're just stronger, faster, quicker.
Exactly.
NFL, dude, I'm playing against Don Mosbar, Bruce Matthews, Mike Munchak. These fuckers all have insane technique
and strength.
Hey, the Ray Donaldson head fake, I had never seen anything like that in my entire life.
He faked inside like that
once when he did that to me. I was like, "What in the hell is that?"
Inside, and then he jump on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, dude, doing this thing like this, and he's over here, and I'm like, "Wait, what going on? What the hell?" I mean, but as an organization, wouldn't you want that kind of knowledge in Kobe Dean?
No, he just would not fit.
By the way, I agree with you.
Yeah, he wouldn't fit. He wouldn't fit. He would be a great defensive mind, a great coach in that organization. But could Seth tone down who he is? And I can't see I can't see him undermining who he is, because he knows what he is works.
Howie, what are you doing in here? Do you mind?
Right.
Hey, what are you doing in here, man?
Look,
I'm here with my linebackers. Do you need anything? He would stop the meeting probably and do this. Can I help you?
Right.
And then you're sitting, he's like, no, I just want to come in and.
Well, guys, hey, Seth, these guys got to go. They got to go home. Yeah, we'll go home once I finish this lesson right here. We'll finish this. Let me finish this first and we'll get back to it. Bro, they're not as strong-willed and strong-minded as when I was in the league, when you was in the league. It's just totally different, man. You wanted to sit down. I wanted to sit down and talk to guys that were all world. You know what I'm saying? I sat down and even Bill Romanowski was the biggest prick in the world. But I wanted to know how I could beat him. Right. But I wanted to know how to beat him and how to play against him. And I asked, and any question I asked, he would answer. He was a dick though, but anything I asked him, he would answer it. He wasn't that type that wouldn't tell you. He would tell you. But you wanted to know how I could get over him. Or I came to ask him, hey, how can I beat Dennis Stubblefield? What can I do to beat him? Well, when I played with him, he always got lazy in this point and that point. He gave me little keys to help me. So, you want to play against the best, and you want to talk to the best, because that's how you become better.
I swear, Barrett, I've kept it longer than I said I would, but I got 2 last questions here. And I'm going to say this to you. Brandon Graham, Jason Kelsey, and Fletcher Cox, with all the new faces that potentially you could see on defense, is it important to sign those collective 3 for your culture in your locker room if you're going to have a lot of new ideologies, maybe a new coordinator? You're not going to elevate Wilson. Is it important to have players like that? And I'll just use the Patriot way when Brady was up there, the Eagle way on what they've done since the Super Bowl. Is it important to get those 3 back in the building?
It would be important if you weren't paying the quarterback. Since you're paying the quarterback, you just can't do it. That world that they've had the past 2 or 3 years,
it's over.
It's gone now. You pay the quarterback. I mean, Howie's got to make his money now. He was GM or whatever you want to call it of the year. Well, this year, if he can go out there and duplicate what he did last year, he would be all world. He would have Fortune 500 companies coming and knocking his door down. If he'll be able to do that and get these guys in here, I just can't. It's just not feasible. It's not possible that he can sign Fletch back. It's not possible he can sign Hargraves back. It's not possible to sign probably, Bradbury back.
Well, Kaiser White and Hey, Barrett, watch this. I think TJ, Minnesota, dude, Hargrave is not coming back. The Bears have $94 million
it's a done deal. Yeah.
I don't even know how you have sucked for a while to get to that number. But he's going to command. I hear Minnesota, because they got to stop the run. Chicago, New England, he's got a massive market, and CJ's going to get a massive market. Bradbury, and watch this with Kaiser White. Here's my thing with Kaiser and Nakobe Dean. Okay, well, are you completely confident that Nakobe Dean can play and he's going to be a player? Remember something, Barrett, when he was at Alabama or Georgia, he had Carter, he had Jordan Davis, he had Walker, he had that Wyatt kid. Them are some big-time players and big-time dudes. And if you don't have really active players in front of you, don't you think – I think the linebackers got better stuff in the run when they started stopping the run when Joseph and Sue showed up. The edge rushing absolutely picked up with Sweat and Reddick when those 2 guys came in the building.
Absolutely.
Are you sold he's going to step in there?
He had an opportunity, and he showed that he could. I believe in he's good. I'm hoping he can, because he's going to be the best thing we got going. We just got to come to reality that right now, our 2 starting safeties are Reed Blankenship and Kayvon Wallace. Our starting corners are Big Play Slay, Avonte Maddox, and then you have Josh Jobe, who didn't see a snap. McPherson saw very, very limited snaps. Josiah Scott, limited. So, this
sounds like a practice squad.
Well, that's exactly what it is. That's the entire practice squad roster, Brad. So they've got to make some decisions. They got to sign some guy. Howie, make your money.
You think they extend Sirianni?
Yes.
Because they did, Doug?
Yep, they did. Well, more so because they extended offensive line coach. So
Stoutland.
Yeah, they extended him because they knew they had to. So they're not going to let Nick go. He can't lead the building. They got to pay him accordingly. So, those two are too close right now as far as what they're making.
So I've got to be holding up the barbecuing or something, man.
I got to get to work. I got to get to another job.
Hey, Barrett, thank you so much, man.
Appreciate you, big dog.
Man, I love watching you. By the way, I watch that show because of you. Okay, and T Gun, but hey, man. Rob's still crying about the 81 Super Bowl shit, man.
He will forever cry about it. It irritates him to this day, man.
Absolutely. Barrett, I love you, man. Tell your mom hi.
Have a good one, man.
You got it. The great Barrett Brooks. Love talking with him. Don't forget to catch him on Sports Take each and every single day, man. Those guys do such a great job. So you heard he named a practice roster for your defense. Hey, 49er guys, Okay? Hurts is 50 times better than Purdy. Well, Niner all day, all damn day. Jalen only got to one more game than you did. So when you say that, that's why I keep bringing that up. Brock Purdy makes $900,000, and he got to one less game than Jalen Hurts did. What's a win for the organization, Purdy or Hurts? Would you rather have the roster or a $50 million quarterback you're not sure could carry a roster that's lesser? You better be Patrick Mahomes. You have to be Patrick Mahomes. Okay? You have to be Patrick Mahomes. I'm both. By the way, and I'm not, watch this, and don't have it land that I said Purdy's better than Hurts. That's not what I said. He's financial. You heard those names that Barrett Brooks was talking. Jalen Hurts' success makes you have a lesser team. But that's the league. They want that. Lucius goes like this: I'd rather have a lesser team and Hurts. Okay. Okay. Most teams go that way. Lucius, most teams go that route. What do you mean you don't believe that BS? You are going to have a lesser team. Sills, let's circle back. If you trade Jalen Hurts, you lose AJ. Does Kelsey resign? So you mean you're going to leave if a consensus 26-year-old MVP comes into your team? Well, then guess what? I'm not running a daycare center. I don't give a shit what you like. I don't run a daycare center. I'm the boss of the team. You'll play here because I pay you $25 million. Shut your mouth. Okay? I'm not, I would not tolerate that kind of like Alshon Jeffries whispering in corners. You're paid to play here, not to be a PR rep. And I don't give a shit about that. Go play. I pay you. You're the player. I coach. I help with the GM. Go play. I don't need a public relations person. Okay? I don't need to have him handling my press briefings. Okay? I'm not letting my players go, well, I'm not playing here. Well, then I don't, dude. Then I don't have to pay you then. Okay. Right? All right. We got a ton to look at still. I want to ask you a Cowboy question. I want to ask you about the Cowboys. Also, I've got the draft in needs. Does Howie move up or down in the upcoming April draft? I'm going to do that one next. We also have the top 10 wide receivers, the top 10 quarterbacks. Is there somebody in the draft you might want behind Jalen? And the top offensive lineman, potentially going to Stoutland University. We're going to do that all next. Hour number 2. Please hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.